Hello, friends. It's Mrs. Evans. You've been learning all about writing small moment stories with Miss Harris. Small moment stories are a way to tell your reader or your friends a story about something that has happened to you. Today, we're going to continue on learning about that writing process using our small moment stories. We're going to talk today about revising and editing. But first, we're going to break that down into revising first. Revising means what else you should add to your story. When we revise our writing, we want to make sure that our writing had details. Writers add details to their stories by showing what characters do, step by step, how characters feel, what characters say, what characters look like, and what the setting looks like. I wrote a little story this weekend to help. Oh, have you ever been surprised before? Well, I sure have. One Friday night, I had just opened the front door to get our pizza from the delivery man. I was walking to a room to tell my family that the pizza was there when I got surprised. Friends, this story is pretty good so far, but I can even add more detail. I want to show, not just tell, how my characters are feeling. Instead of saying, he was sad, I want to tell a detail about what the character did and what the character looked like. So instead of saying, he was sad, I might say, tears rolled down his cheeks. Instead of saying, he was happy or I was happy, I might say, he jumped for joy or I jumped for joy. Instead of saying, she was mad, I might say, her face got red with anger. Here are some different feelings words that you might start to use in your small moment stories. Angry, bored, embarrassed, excited, happy, nervous, sad, scared, or worried. Now let's look at my story again. This time I changed some things. Let's take a look. Have you ever been surprised before? Well, I sure have. One Friday night, I had just happily opened the front door to get our pizza from the delivery man. I yelled to my hungry family, "The pizza is here!" As I was walking, I got a huge surprise. I almost jumped to the ceiling. Do you see how my words that I highlighted in blue, happily, hungry, and I almost jumped to the ceiling, told feelings about how I felt when I opened the front door, how my family was hungry, and then also not just that I was surprised, but that I was so surprised I almost jumped to the ceiling. Now let's talk a little bit about adding time words and phrases. At the beginning of your small moment, you might say, "It all started when," or "first," "at the beginning," or "at first." In the middle of your small moment story, you might use words or phrases like next, later, later on, then, suddenly, after a while, after that, or all of a sudden. At the end of your story, you might use words like finally, in the end, at last, or after a long time. I added some time words to my story. Let's look. Have you ever been surprised before? Well, I sure have. It all started one Friday night when I had just happily opened the front door to get our pizza from the delivery man. I yelled to my hungry family, "The pizza is here!" Then, as I was walking, I got a huge surprise. I almost jumped to the ceiling. That is an example of revising and editing, boys and girls. Give that a try in your own small moment story. You might want to start your own small moment or take a small moment story that you have already begun and go ahead and revise. Add some details. Tell how and show how your characters are feeling. Use some time words and phrases to help the story flow with your readers. And that's it. This is a quick preview of what we'll be learning about next. Good luck, friends!